Welcome. In this demo, I'm going to show you how Nexadata can bidirectionally integrate HubSpot with anything. And when I say anything, I truly mean anything. Most HubSpot data starts in CSVs, databases, or other tabular sources. Nexadata takes all of that, transforms it, maps it, and gets it into HubSpot with ease and precision, and AI does all the heavy lifting. And it's fully bidirectional. So if you need to write back, we handle that too. Salesforce is another place where a lot of your customer data lives. Nexadata takes that Salesforce data, maps it, transforms it, and gets it into HubSpot cleanly and fast. And just like before, if you need to go the other direction, we support that too. If you use Anaplan, we can bring that data in and line it up with your HubSpot objects. And in most cases, you need to load Anaplan from HubSpot. We, of course, can support that use case. Pigment is no different. We bring that data in, align it with HubSpot, and keep both sides synced. Wherever your spreadsheets live, we can turn them into clean, usable HubSpot data. If your data is buried in PDFs or long-form reports, we can pull that out, convert it into clean, usable HubSpot data. If you didn't see your application listed, that's where our connector Copilot comes in. It can read almost any API and build the data set for you with natural language. So whether it's Monday.com, Airtable, Notion, or any other operational tool, you can plug it into HubSpot through Nexadata. Now let's bring it all together. I'm going to show you how Nexadata can take simple CSVs, in this case deals and companies, harmonize them, and load them straight into HubSpot. Then we'll flip the flow, pull those same deals back out, enrich and update them in Nexadata, and push the changes right back into HubSpot. Let's jump in. Now that you've learned a bit about Nexadata, let's provide a demo. What you're looking at right now is the Nexadata home screen. And from here, we can create connections to various applications. And once we have a connection, we can create data sets from those applications. And then we can add data sets to a workflow. Now, in advance of this demonstration, I've gone ahead and I've created some connections, and I have a live connection to HubSpot, as well as a live connection to the Nexadata Hub. And inside the Hub is where I store or uploaded these two CSV files, one for companies and one for deals. So now that we have the connections and data sets created, let's go ahead and create a workflow. Create a workflow, and we'll call this load HubSpot deals. Now, once we have the workflow created, let's add those data sets. And now we'll create a pipeline from those data sets. So I'll create a new pipeline. And we have two ways of building that pipeline. We can do it manually through what's called advanced mode, or we can use the AI Copilot. Let's choose the AI Copilot, and let's add those two data sets to this pipeline. Once those data sets have been added, we now have an area to put in our prompt for our natural language prompt. I'm going to go ahead and paste in the prompt because it's quite long, and we'll just walk through it quickly. So the first step here is to join companies and deals based upon the company ID, then perform some transformations by removing these columns, then remove these characters full dash from the deal ID, which you can actually see right here. Then we're going to insert a column called pipeline and put a static value customer lifecycle. And then we're going to create a mapping to designate Lighthouse International versus Lighthouse Domestic based upon the deal size. So that logic is stated here in natural language. And then finally, we're going to rename country to customer classification because now country has been mapped to new values. So based upon this prompt and based upon the input data, we're going to next generate the instructions. Now the instructions provides the ability for us to review and see if we agree with what the Copilot wants to perform. So let's take a look here. So the first step here is it's going to join deals to companies based upon that common ID. It's then going to remove those columns that we've stipulated. It's then going to replace the values here in the but it's actually got something a little incorrect here. So actually, I don't agree with this plan. So let's actually go ahead and just jump right to the back here, and we're going to reset and try again. So this is actually a great time to actually see this. So we'll come here. I've just reset this, and I'm going to say generate those instructions again because I didn't agree with the plan. So let's go ahead and look at this again. So it's got the join correct. It's got the removal of those columns correct. It's now got the replacement correct here. So it's replacing full dash. That's exactly what I wanted. Sometimes it doesn't get it right. And we all know that sometimes AI doesn't do exactly what we want, but now it is. And here we're inserting that new column called pipeline with that customer value lifecycle or customer lifecycle. Here it's creating that mapping group based upon that conditional logic. And you can see that conditional logic. And here it's renaming the country column to customer classification. So this plan now looks really good to me. I'm going to go ahead and approve and build that. So we're interactively seeing it's creating each one of those steps, and each step represents something that's doing to build the pipeline. And now that pipeline has been created. So what we're seeing here is just the raw starting point of that data. And over here, we have all the different steps in the pipeline. So in this first step here, we can see that it's actually joined now the company details, and we can see the company details have been added to these deals. We now remove those unnecessary columns. So I only want just company name and company ID, as well as the country, because I need it for the mapping group. We're removing the that full here. And so I have my deal ID, which is my external deal ID. And then I'm inserting the pipeline customer lifecycle, so we can see that. We have now also the mapping group here, and we can see here that it's working correctly. So based upon the amount and the country, it's being mapped to Lighthouse International versus Lighthouse Domestic, based upon, again, the amount. And then we're renaming the last step here, renaming the country to customer classification. So this looks really good to me. So now I'm going to take this pipeline and I'm going to create an output. So I'm going to add an output, and we'll call that HubSpot deals. And the location of that will be HubSpot. Now, once we have that here, we can take each one of those columns in the pipeline, and we're going to map those to certain objects and properties. So at this point here, I'm going to choose, for example, deals. And you can see down here that deals gets added. And just to show you, I have company ID down here, and I'm going to specify companies. And that also gets added as well. Let's fill the rest of this out. So we'll go deals, because each one of these is related to deals. And company name, this is related to companies. Or actually, customer classification is also deals, and pipeline is companies. So here, now we tell it which property we want to use. So this is going to be an external ID, because I'm loading it from an external system, and I'll stipulate as a HubSpot alternate ID. This is going to be name, so deal name. This is going to be amount, have it right there. This is going to be stage, have it right there. This is going to be close date. And this is going to be external system ID, similarly. This is going to be an alternate ID. This is going to be name, so company name. This is going to be customer. Actually, I guess it is actually, sorry, it is companies. This is going to be customer classification. Sorry, I guess I'm, could have sworn that is deals. Classification. Yeah, there's deal classification. All right. And then here is the last one is pipeline. Like that. Okay. So this mapping looks really good to me. So we'll go ahead now, and actually also last thing here is just simply stipulate that. We don't really need that because we don't have any dates, but it needs to be filled out. And we'll go ahead now and save that. So now that we have that output, we're ready to execute. So before I execute, I do want to show you inside HubSpot that we actually have no deals. So again, no deals. And if we go to companies, we have just 2 companies right here. Okay. So let's go ahead into the workflow execution. We'll go ahead and execute this workflow. And now I'm manually executing this, but of course I could schedule this. And it's loading about 1,000 records. Okay, that was successful. Let's go back now into HubSpot and we'll refresh this. And just like that, we now have companies being loaded in here. And accordingly, we also have deals with the company association. So we have that all been loaded up directly from CSV. So now let's jump to part 2 of this demonstration. Part 2 of this demonstration is that I want to enrich my data inside HubSpot, because if you look here, there's no deal owner. So I actually want to add a deal owner. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have returned to the Nexadata home screen, and we need to create a new data set for the HubSpot deals. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll create a data set. We'll call this HubSpot deals. Choose the HubSpot connection. We'll choose the object deals, and we'll grab the properties record ID, name, so we can see the deal name, and the owner, deal owner, like that. So once we have that, we can go ahead and submit that, and it pulls the columns. I'm just going to go ahead and assign these to text because that's all we really care about. Okay, so we have those 3 columns coming from HubSpot directly. And now we'll go ahead and submit that. And now we have a new data set called HubSpot Deals. Come back to the home screen, and we're now going to create a new workflow with that new data set to load or to assign the deal owner. So go ahead and create a workflow. And we'll call it assign HubSpot deal owner, create. And we'll go ahead and add the data set that we just created. So HubSpot deals. And once that data set's been added, we'll add a pipeline. So we'll create a new pipeline. And we'll call this assign HubSpot deal owner. And now instead of using the AI Copilot, I'm actually going to use the advanced transformation this time. So we'll choose the HubSpot deals here. And we can see that there's no deal owner, just like we saw in HubSpot. And this time I'm going to click Start Transforming. Now another really nice feature inside Nexadata when we're building our pipeline is actually building each step in natural language as well. So I'll go ahead and add a transformation here where I can actually, in natural language, provide the instructions that I want. So let's go ahead and do that. Here, on the deal owner column, replace all blanks with the email quinn@nexadata.com. Go ahead and start that transformation. And there we go. It went ahead and added that right in there for me. And if there was a mistake or if I want to make a change, I can come in here and I can certainly make that change as I see fit. So now that that's been done, let's go ahead, just like we did before, and create an output. We'll create a HubSpot deals, and we'll customize that. Choose the HubSpot connection. This time here, we'll just choose deals. This is a lot simpler. This is going to be the ID, record ID. This is going to be the name. And this is going to be the owner, deal owner. And this is going to be the HubSpot object ID. So everything looks good here for me. And we'll go ahead and save this output. Okay, so now that that output has been saved, and just to review again, we're loading the deal owner here because there's no owner on each one of these deals. So let's go ahead and execute this. That was successful. Come back in here. Wait a second. Refresh that screen. And there they all are. The deal owner's been refreshed, or the deal owner's been assigned after the deals are refreshed. So that's it. So if we look back here, we created two separate workflows. One workflow to load HubSpot deals from a CSV, and then to assign the HubSpot deal owner directly from a data set inside a HubSpot, showing basically that we have bidirectional integration with HubSpot, taking data really from any source to any target, all through Nexadata. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and please reach out to us if you have additional questions. Thanks so much, and have a great day.